We've currently got a special offer live now on poodlecfb.com for the launch of College Football 26. Use code KICKOFF, all caps, for $50 off the annual plan, or code KICKOFF 2025 for $5 off the monthly plan. You'll unlock exclusive spreadsheets, in-depth info, and our members-only Discord. Join hundreds of members in the fastest-growing CFB 26 community out there. Don't miss out and sign up now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 26 video, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a 99 overall team in Dynasty mode. Before we get into the video, guys, if you haven't already, check out poodlecfb.com. All of our best strategies, best data testing, our labbing, our math, our formulas, spreadsheets with thousands of lines, calculators, tools, and so much more is over there. Plus, one of the biggest communities over in our Discord chat. You won't want to miss it. If you want to get some insider info and be a part of the greatest community, come join now. If you use code KICKOFF, all caps, you do get $50 off the annual plan. If you use code KICKOFF 2025, you do get $5 off the monthly plan. You're grandfathered in, so don't miss out. For the lifetime of your membership, you will keep your deal, and it is recurring. So check it out, enjoy, and let's get into it. So there's a lot that goes into this video versus last year because there is a few different things to take into account. So let's start with the first thing, the elephant in the room. That's going to be going over to your settings. What is your manual progression penalty on? That plays a big role here. Plays a huge role when building your super team. This is going to be variable for everyone, so let's start with this. If this is 25% or below, you do manual progression. I'll even take it to like 35%. 35% or below, you do manual progression. If it's above 35, like if your league's doing 50, 60, 70, stay auto. That's just too much of a loss. I mean, your ceiling of your team's just going to keep going down from there. It's going to be really tough no matter how hard you try. If your manual progression penalties below 35%, I likely go auto. Now, this plays a big role going forward in what you do and how you build your team, because to get a super team, you're going to have to maximize your gains, and if you get a penalty hit on you, that's where you get a set. So, by the way, if you don't already know, you can turn that on at the bottom of your screen, all the way at the bottom of settings, and if you look here, it's going to show auto progress players. Turn that off, or turn that on. If you turn it on, it's auto, just like last year. Off, you manually do it with the penalty. So just keep that in mind. That's the first thing you want to go through for sure when looking at your super team build. Next is going to be a few things we want to go through here. We can start with coaching, or we can start with the roster. And I think coaching is a little bit more important in terms of setting up your foundation. So there's some packages here that increase things, and what you want to do is maximize them. So I have my ideal coach build that I put out. That's my universal guide, but I'm going to go through a few things that play a role when building a super team. So let's start with the non-negotiables, and that's going to be tier 3 motivator. Put in work, get an off-season training boost. This is a non-negotiable. Every league you're in, every coach you build, you should have that. That is one of the, that's a staple. It's just a state. It's like water. You need it. Tier 3, you need. So that's first and foremost. Tier 1, super glitchy right now. Unrelated to this video, but you're going to get that too because it's tier 1. Now, the next debate that we've been having is the architect versus talent developer debate. I lean talent developer, but let me tell you why. For me, architect has good stuff. It has earned a QB bonus for every earn a player bonus. Let's go generically for every 3-game win streak you're on. Has earned additional XP for in-game goals and chance to increase a random skill cap. The random skill cap is good, but as I found in 25, you don't always hit those skill caps. And when you did, they were auto. They're better this year because technically you could hit a speed one and you can manually upgrade that one. But for me, the first two is going to be the XP side of it, of building. Tier 2 requires you to hit certain goals, like maybe pass for 350, run for 350. If you're not hitting those goals, you're not getting those boosts. And additionally, you earn an additional XP bonus for every 3-game win streak. You have to be honest with yourself. If you're a guy that wins like 10 straight games a year, you almost go undefeated every year with one freak loss every year, then this is okay for you. Architect's still really good, but first problem with Architect for me is going to be you have to be pretty good. If you're an above average player and beyond that, this is a good package for you. But also, unlocking it requires 15 Tactician, which I don't want to spend, and it requires rivalry games. I can never say that word. Rivalry games. There we go. I'm not even going to cut this out. I can never say that word. You know how many times I have to edit this? 15 Tactician. I hate it, and you have to win those games. Those 4 of them. So the problem with online leagues is you'll find that when people start moving conferences around because they want to like match users, you can go, in our online league, we won 3 seasons, and some people hadn't even had one of those. And let's say you do finally get one, you could still lose it. You have to win it. It's a very hard perk to unlock in online Dynasty with 32 users. Talent developer requires motivator and recruiter, 2 things that I'm getting no matter what, and it only requires 2 players drafted in the first round. I mean, if you're a lower team, it might take some time, but if you're like LSU or one of these bigger schools, you're getting that, the first season, maybe the second. So talent developer for me is better because the first one is bonus XP when players are drafted. This was one of my favorite abilities last year. This is how I built pipelines of players, and this is going to be one of the biggest keys to building a 99 overall team. So let me explain the pipeline, like the pipeline theory of how this works. So I call it like the player factory. Think Georgia. If anyone played with Georgia last year, or even in real life, every year it's next man up. Elite safety gets drafted. Next year they have next elite safety, next elite safety. It's that pipeline of just like elite players coming in. So once you get this set up, you get bonus XP for when players are drafted. So I'm gonna show you guys my roster real quick to give you an idea of how the pipeline method works. Now, LSU currently has like a kind of a good system for this at halfback and a few other positions. So the pipeline theory is like this. Durham's a sophomore. He's a sophomore at 89 overall, and Harlem Berry's an 83 overall freshman. So Berry doesn't need to play yet because I already have an 89 overall. I'm going to run Durham into the ground, get him up to a 95 to 99 overall, and then when he gets drafted in the first round, I get that package to light up, and it gives me a huge boost for a first round player, and my other running backs, he'll be my second at that point, will get a huge boost, and he'll go from like an 83 over the next 2 years plus that boost, it's like a 94 overall. Now I have an elite junior back, but then he's going to get drafted in the first round, but I already brought in another 2 5-star running backs or 2 4-star running backs or a mixture of both, and now I have them to get the boost from Berry, and that's what I call the pipeline. So you'll find when you have a position where you don't have a pipeline set up, you actually get kind of screwed. Let me see if they currently have one here. So when you first start a league, let's say you have, do I have a situation like this? Like, okay, strong safety is a situation like this. It's going to take me at least 4 years to build a safety at LSU because they don't have the pipeline set up. What I mean by that is this guy Toviano is going to be drafted as a senior, probably like an 86, 87 overall max. So he's not going to give he's not going to give any boost. Osbury's not going to give any boost. This guy likely doesn't give a boost. He's very low and he's already a red shirt. Drayton is my next hope, but he won't be up to the plate for 3-4 more years. So I got to go 4 years, build this guy up, and then hopefully my future freshmen get the boost from him. But once you get that, it takes like 4 seasons. Just make sure you're recruiting evenly and make sure that every position has like a replacement and a guy being drafted. If you can get all those done and also focus on getting them drafted. I went over this in another video, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. But let's just say a situation like this. Durham's an 89 overall. And let's say he was a junior right now. And he could almost be drafted. Or let's say he's a senior and he could be drafted. And you have Harlem Berry, be like, oh, Berry's 94 speed and he's younger. And he's a star div. I should start using him now. No, he's a freshman. Redshirt him. Give Durham one final senior season to get to 91 plus overall so he could be drafted. So don't do that. I see a lot of people who would like have an 89 overall quarterback. Let's say Garrett was an 89 overall as a senior. I've had people who would have a freshman guy, a elite freshman dev, and say, I'm going to start him now. I got to start building him. But then Garrett doesn't get drafted because you left him at an 89, 90 overall with no XP, and he gets no more training boost in a senior season. And now all you gave the freshman was like 2 extra levels, but now he's not getting that huge boost you could have got if you got a Garrett drafted. So make sure you're always focusing on getting your pipelines of players. It's like a factory. Get them all drafted ahead of them because you just get so much XP. And that's part of the reason I love Talent Developer, because I love that ability. That was the reason we built 99 overall teams last year. It was strictly that ability. That was one of the abilities. So that's the first thing. The second one's going to be tier 2 across the board. Freshman, sophomore quarterbacks progress faster, and that goes across every single position. That's cool. So if you look at what Architect had, Architect was based on in-game goals. Like you have to hit the 200 passing threshold or the offense threshold. This just requires you to play with them. Like just have them. Like just being on your roster. They're just going to progress faster during their freshman and sophomore years. So guess what? While you're building that factory of players, and you have Garrett starting or you have Durham starting and Berry as a redshirt, they're going to just progress faster in the offseason. As they get XP, they're just going to progress faster, and that's going to get them quicker to a draftable point, which then comes right back to tier 1, and they gotta work with each other. And that's how I love buying packages that all work together. And then tier 3, starting player, insert position, will gain XP faster. So you get faster XP, they progress faster as a whole. The whole thing just all works so beautifully. And even tier 4, boost the pipeline bonus. That's a good one. If you want to get that too, it doesn't apply to an overall team, but this whole thing, tier 1 through 4 is just beautiful. It went from one of the worst things in the whole game to one of the best in terms of tier 1 through 4 runs. Love it, love it, love it. This is great. Those are going to be the main 2 you're focusing on. It's going to be Motivator, tier 3. And now, of course, there's Master Motivator, which plays a role in this. It's definitely really good, but I don't like tier 1 and 2. But if you have a Master Motivator build, you can kind of supplement it there with tier 3. Then if we come over to Program Builder, as you guys see, there is some stuff here like for recruiting, but nothing that exactly helps with your team. So you don't really need to focus on anything there. And then with CEO, the one thing I think could be really, really useful in this is really going to be up here. That's going to be Gains Getter. But getting CEO is hard. Gains Getter is cool because it increases your chance of a dev trait upgrade. So ideally, if you do have CEO, like you start with Kirby Smart, or you start with Ryan Day, or Dabo Sweeney, or you win 2 natties, Gains Getter is pretty cool because if you can get dev traits higher quicker, like a big freshman year, they get a good dev trait, or a good sophomore year, they get a better dev trait, you increase their ceiling and how quickly they gain XP. and you upgrade their floor at bare minimum too. So I really like this one, but really what matters to me are those packages. So that's our foundation set for building an overall team. Now we get to our roster. Let's go through what we need to do with our roster. And I'm going to show you guys, you got to be really careful with this. And this is what's really useful at poodlecfp.com. We actually laid out in a spreadsheet every archetype and all their fast and slow buckets. So if you don't know what a fast and slow bucket is, if you look at how much these cost, like IQ is a fast bucket. He's halfway through and it only costs 4 points. It's easy to upgrade that. Route running is a fast bucket. He's halfway through, it costs 3. Power is a slow bucket. It costs 12. Then you start to realize it costs 12 because he's not a power back. He's an elusive back, so power is expensive for him. Hands is a quick because it's only 5 points halfway. This is 12. This would take 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? This would be like 5, 5, 6, 6. Elusiveness will be 8 and then probably 9. That's a fast bucket as well. And like more like a medium, but like a fast, but medium. And then quickness is a fast bucket for them. It's just so high already. It's at the end here, so it's going to naturally be expensive. But what you want to be doing is first prioritizing some of the fast buckets, but more so upgrading things that actually help their overall. So let's start with the running back. What's going to help an elusive east-west playmaker, like an elusive type back? It's going to be his quickness, his elusiveness, and his IQ. Those 2 things will help him a lot in terms of his overall, because IQ is his awareness. As you guys know, in football games, awareness boosts overall. So if you want a 99 overall team, upgrade his elusiveness and quickness, and then instantly bring his IQ up. That's going to be a pretty big jump right there. And that's strictly if you're focusing on getting them up. Obviously, you can buy abilities and other things, but that's going to be strictly for getting your overall up and getting players to grow quicker and get them drafted. So there's the next part of this. If you're trying to get, you can manually produce them now if you have manual on. If you want to get them drafted, you can manually make that happen. Because last year what would happen is your quarterback would go through the offseason and gain like 0 overalls, and you'd be like, how'd that happen? How did he not gain anything? He upgraded something really stupid that didn't like his health, and it didn't help him. Garrett, if I want to get Garrett up a lot right now this season, the first thing I would do, if I really wanted to, would just be get his IQ up. His IQ and his accuracy. Those 2 things will get his overall up a lot. If I want to, he's at 92 overall. If I can get him just 1, maybe 2 more overalls, he's a shoo-in for the first round. If I can just get him really 1. So you may just want to go all in on IQ to end the season. If he's already pretty accurate and you're pretty comfortable with throwing with him, maybe you take whatever 5, 10 points you gain this season and throw it right into IQ and just call that and hope that you can get 1 more boost on overall with him. And as you guys see, that's going to be likely the cheapest thing outside of elusiveness, but elusiveness isn't going to help him at all. You could upgrade that whole thing and his overall will barely go up. And this is what was the problem with last year, was it upgraded the cheapest thing, so you never really got... Like right now, Garrett would upgrade elusiveness first, and then he'd upgrade it again, and then he would upgrade it like 4 or 5 times before he even tied the 5-point threshold of IQ, and now you're stuck with a guy who upgraded his elusiveness in the senior season. So if you want to make an elite team, manual, but if you also want to upgrade the right things, make sure you're doing that, and this goes across the board. Start to get an idea for what's good for certain players. So let's look at this guy right here, Speedster, Nick Anderson. He's an 88 overall, and he is going to be a junior. He's close to being drafted, so you only have 1 more year, 1 more training period to get this right. So when it comes time to manually produce him and get him drafted and bring your overall up, and because remember, there's a double whammy. You'll bring your overall up, and then you'll get the guy below him to get a huge boost like Jelani Watkins, and that helps bring up your lower classmen and helps your future, which helps your overall floor and ceiling of your team. So what do deep route running guys do, or speedsters in this game? They are great at deep route running, so you have to get that route running up for sure. Route running, hands, and quickness are going to be your 3 here that you got to focus on. But in terms of ratings, it would be those hands and route running because it's way cheaper. Speed's going to be 13. If you could just focus on hands and route running, or just hands at first, you'll get his overall up very quickly. And then of course you can also go IQ to just top it off if you want the ratings boost. What I recommend doing the first 2 or 3 seasons, focus on what they need to be a productive player, like hands and route running and the speed. And like that final senior season or end of junior season when you're running low on your last minutes to finally get some points in before they get drafted, I would just finish off IQ right at the end just for the extra awareness boost, and because it's cheap and it gives you awareness boost. But that's only when you're done basically playing with them. I wouldn't do it when you actually want to use these players. And I can go through this all day, but hopefully you guys get the point in terms of how to actually utilize these players. And last thing is going to be focusing on dev traits. They fixed dev traits a little bit this year. Last year was a little bit wishy-washy with dev traits. Focusing on dev traits. If you have 2 freshman quarterbacks, one's an elite dev, one's an impact dev. The impact dev has a higher throw power and maybe a higher speed, but he has horrible skill caps, while the elite dev is a slightly lower overall or whatever, or slightly lower speed and throw power, but he has endless caps and he's elite dev. He's going to grow quicker, and if you combine that with motivator and you combine that with talent developer, you're gonna be able to compile all of that together to absolutely blow him up in overall. And then if you bring in a guy behind like Garrett, he gets the draft boost, he gets the talent developer boost, the motivator boost, and the elite dev boost. Elite dev players actually grow quicker. and they get more points in the offseason during training period. So make sure, or they really just get more points as a whole for everything that happens. So make sure that you are utilizing your dev traits now a lot more than even last year, because last year it wasn't the same as it is this year. They tuned it a bit, and I really appreciate that, because now, especially when you're a few years in and you're looking at halfbacks and things, make sure you're getting your elite and star dev guys. Get them in the right position. So utilize them over impact and normal when you can, especially if you have everything else set up to succeed, and that's going to high your ceiling, because those normal impact dev guys have bad caps, and they're not going to upgrade that quickly. So those guys are going to have a low ceiling. They're not going to help out your team as a whole. And you guys have probably seen plenty already. With manual progression, makes this much easier. If you are on auto progression, obviously you can't follow the tips of upgrading the right things, but all those packages still apply. You can still place your team in the right spot. And of course, guys, winning is so important. I learned last year, the people with the best coach builds and people with the best players were the people who went deep in the playoffs every year. And I know it may sound like very obvious, but you play more games. When you get to your bowl game, and when you win a playoff game, and when you win a second playoff game and a third, you get a bye, you get more XP. So think about if there's 12, let's say there's 12 games a year you're playing. And playoffs, if you go to the Natty, is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Is that what it is? I think it's like 4 games total. If you get 4 more games, that's 4 extra games. That's almost half a season more. So if you make it to the Natty like 3 years straight, I'm not saying you could do that, but I did do that. I made like 3 years straight and I lost it, but I did get 4 extra games. So by year 3, I had essentially played 3 seasons, and then 4, 4, 4, which is another 12. I essentially played 4 seasons, while a lot of people who didn't make the playoffs only played 3. So I had an extra season of development that they didn't have, and my coach played an extra season. So I had an extra 100 plus coaching points to spend. And that's going to play a huge role in gaining a lead on everyone when trying to build your 99 overall team, your overall wise and your coach wise. The more snaps you can get on these players in a very limited timeline of potentially 3 years, and so if you're lucky 5 with the red shirt and they last long enough, you don't have much time with these guys. And of course, you could always look into packages to delay their graduation and all of that. But I don't trust all that stuff all that well. You could look into some of the ones. I forget where it is right now. I believe it's in here at the bottom of one of these. Where is it? Right here. Delay Sunday. First round projected players are less likely to leave. You can get Delay Sunday. It used to be a CEO package, I believe. You could get these. They're just really expensive. They're 48 points. This does help, because if you get that extra senior year, if your guy gets to 92 by junior year and gets drafted, if you can get him to a senior year, he's going to be a 95 plus overall. He's going to blow up in that final year. But it's expensive, and you also want those draft bonuses for your freshmen, and you kind of want to get your new players in too. So that definitely helps a lot. If you can pair Delay Sunday with senior superlatives, that's another route you can go down. Very expensive. So if you're looking strictly for overall and development, and you're not looking for recruiting or anything, this is the way to go. If you're looking for like my ideal build with everything, this isn't going to fit in there. But again, that's what you have the pre-order bonus points for. That's what you have some of that 90% leeway on. Just like do the 90% correct, and the extra 10 is what you can play with. You can do that if you want to. Senior superlatives plus Delay Sunday goes a long way in helping increase your ceiling as well. But there's no guarantee. These aren't quantifiable. You can't guarantee they'll stay. So it's really up to you guys. But that basically wraps up today's video. And I have 2 more bonus tips for you guys. 2 more bonus tips to close this out. Don't partake in position change week. Until EA patches or fixes or does something, don't touch position changes. If you didn't watch my other video, go watch it. They completely killed position changes in this game. If you do a position change, if you move a offensive guard, like a left guard to a right guard, his stat caps get slashed and they get like twice as bad. If you move him back to left guard, they stay that bad. You can't fix it. You basically imagine on a scale of 1 to 10. You got a 5-star recruit and he starts at like a 6, and his ceiling is a 9 or a 10. If you move his position, his ceiling becomes a 7. You completely kill your ceiling, so you'll never get 99 overall. Don't position change players. Don't position change athletes. Don't touch anything position change wise. And outside of the first 2 years, when you're trying to go forward and actually get elite recruiter, outside of that, don't recruit bust. Bust players will have heavier caps and lower dev traits. They're going to be cogs in your team that don't help your ceiling. When you're trying to get elite recruiter or top recruiting classes, that's fine. Once you're in like this 99 mode where you're just spiraling, you have everything you want, don't touch them. They're only going to hurt the ceiling of your team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, comment down below. If you have any other tips for building an elite team, let me know down below in the comments. So yeah, check out poodlecfb.com, guys. Use code KICKOFF, all caps, for $50 off the annual plan, or code KICKOFF2025 for $5 off the monthly plan. Also all caps. Check it out. You won't want to miss it, guys. All this detailed data lab stuff, everything we do comes a lot from over there. So if you want to be a part of those discussions, head on over there. Enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.